Hi everybody, this is Kevin with Texas Yardman and More. Today I'm featuring a video on how to fix a common problem with ceiling fans, and I'm going to step up on a chair here very carefully and I'm going to show you. So many of you have two strings on your ceiling fan here. One is to actually manually turn off the light, and the other one is to manually turn on the ceiling fan or adjust the speed, whether it be high, medium, or low. The problem today is not the ceiling fan itself, the speeds, but it's this pull chain right here. And the other day I went to use it to manually turn it off and it locked up. So we've got to repair that. I'm going to have to replace a switch. And the way that you do that is, before you do any work on it, you want to turn the power off. But if you notice up in here, there are screws. You got to take, I think there's 3 or 4 screws up in here. Let's see if I can get in. There's one, and then if you follow it around on both sides, you'll see additional screws. There's usually 3. Once I turn the power off, I'm going to take out these screws, and that's going to release this cover here, and it's attached to these lights right here. So you could take these, I guess they would be light shields, or I'm not sure exactly what you would call them, but you could take these off just to make sure they don't get broken. And you simply do that by loosening these thumb screws, and there's like 3 on there as well. I think I'm going to do that. So I'm going to take these off just to play it safe and get them out of the way. And you don't need a screwdriver typically. They're just thumb screws right here. And you just loosen them, turn them to the left to loosen, right to tighten. So I went ahead and took those off. One of the things you have to do is take the light bulbs out first and then loosen these thumb screws, and then that cover comes off. So I've got those off, and we're getting ready here to take the screws out to access where the switch is going to be at. And so I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to have to come back in a minute. So now that the breaker is off for the lights, I went ahead and removed the 3 screws up here. And then when you do that, this part comes loose. And then inside there, you'll see kind of like, let's see if I can get in there. See that part there that looks red or orange in the center? That's the part we're going to be replacing. And I don't have an extra hand to show you, but obviously you can see the color difference there. It's right in the center, and it correlates to the underside here where this chain comes out. So you simply take that screw off right there, and that's going to free up this part right here, the orange part, so that you can get to the wires and disconnect them from these wire nuts. So we're going to do that next. So you can see that there's 2 black wires here connected to this switch, and you've got to follow those wires. One of them goes into here on this wire nut, and the other one runs all the way up here to this wire nut. So you just simply disconnect those to free up the switch right here. Okay, I have snipped out the switch, and I cut it as close as I could on that end to ensure I left a little bit of wire here. So instead of taking it apart at the wire nut, I just cut and left as much wire here as I can to splice it to the new switch that I go pick up. And then the other end connects to this blue wire up here. So here is the switch, and that's been cut out. This is the faulty switch, and so I'm going to go ahead and install a new switch. So here is the new switch. It's a 2-wire switch for on-off on-off pull switch manual, so this is what your replacement looks like. It should look just like the one that you took out of there. It's just a simple basic switch, and we're going to install this. So now we just do everything in reverse on how we removed it, and we're going to do that now. So here we are. I have the new switch connected, and I just simply used a wire, one of these lever wire connectors here. These are pretty handy to have. And then you reuse the wire nut that was up here. So I got both wires connected, and here's my switch. So now I just simply have to push the top of the switch down here into this hole, and then we'll screw the end cap on up here, and then we'll put this back up into the ceiling fan area, and we'll test it out. So there you have it. We have the collar screwed on, and the new switch is right there, and we've got the chain attached, and so now we're just going to put this part back up. It's the 3 screws. There's one there, one around here, and one to the other side. It's like a 3 screw mount, and then we just have to make sure that we tuck the wire connector up inside this recessed hollow here. Okay, we have our mount in there now, and now all that's left to do is test it. I have one of the light bulbs screwed in. I left one in there for testing, and it's got a wall switch too. So I'm going to go turn it on in the breaker. Let's go over there next. So highly recommend you do this during the day, because when I turned the breaker off, it got really dark in the garage, and I don't know if you're going to be able to see any of this, but let's go in here. I've got a flashlight, and you probably can't see any of this. There's my breaker box on the wall, and I just got to go over there and flip the breaker on, and we'll see if the light comes on. And there we are, the light bulb is on, so we know that the repair is working. And so I'm going to go ahead, and I've got the other light bulbs down here, and then we've got the cones for the lights. I don't know what they call that, sconce or whatever. But basically that's as easy as it is. And here are some, these are those connectors that I used. These are wire connectors, and these are game changers. It makes it so much easier. And you just need a wire cutter or a stripper. And this is a tester for voltage. And then here's the old switch. So one thing I have to do is get some longer pull chains, maybe another 36-inch pull chains, and connect it to the end of these so that they'll come down like where I've got this shoelace. Kind of using that as a practical means as turning on the fan blades there manually, so that I can leave the lights off. So anyhow, it's about a 15-minute fix as long as you got the part already. You know, it's a relatively simple thing to do if you got a little bit of experience, but even if you don't, you could do this as long as you make sure you turn the power off on the breaker and turn any light switches off that also control the lights. So once you have the power turned off and you verified it, it shouldn't be any problem. And you could just simply test if you don't know what circuit it is. Like right now the light bulb is on, just go up to your garage or wherever your breaker panel is and flip the switch that you believe controls the circuit that the light is on. This is in the kitchen area, dining area, so I just looked on my panel and kind of narrowed it down from there, and I was able to figure out what switch it was, or the breaker, and I just flipped that breaker and came in here and verified to see if the light was off, and it was. So that'll tell you that the power is off. You can also verify by plugging into outlets over here. Just plug in an appliance to see if that appliance comes on, like maybe a lamp or something like that. Chances are it's probably on the same circuit, but you know, that's all there is to it. If you got something out of this video, please give me a thumbs up, comment. I'll answer anything I can that you have, any of your questions, and please subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell in the upper right hand corner. Thanks again for watching. Have a great day.